Good morning and welcome to our daily devotion. So yesterday we started in on our joy part of the fruit of the Spirit. And so today we're going to continue on. And today's study is about joy in tough times. So there's a theological insight in our study, and it says, the word joy in the original Greek language means cheerfulness, calm delight, gladness, which is multiplied greatly. However, here in James 1:2, the word joy is modified and enhanced with the word pure, as in consider it pure joy. It is the original language word katharos, meaning clean and clear. So an amplified version of this phrase could read, consider it to be clean, clear cheerfulness and calm delight when you face trials of many kinds. So there's a fascinating story out of the past which gives us an insight into an exciting bit of verse which has been set to music. Horatio Spafford had booked passage to England on a ship for his wife and 4 children. On this crossing in the North Atlantic, the ship ran into trouble and sank, taking his 4 children to a watery grave, but his wife miraculously escaped drowning. As soon as it was possible, she sent a telegraph to her husband with a sustenance message, saved alone. After being reunited with his wife, while on the returning voyage home, as the ship neared the place where his children had drowned, it is thought that was the time that he wrote the words that described his own grief and faith at the same time. It is one of my favorite songs, and perhaps you have sung it lately. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Though Satan should buffet, though trials should come, lest this blessed assurance control, that Christ had regarded my helpless estate, and hath shed his own blood for my soul. And Lord, haste the day when the face shall be sight, the clouds be rolled back as a scroll, the trumpet shall resound, and the Lord shall descend. Even so, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. Sorry guys, this song gets me, not only for the beautiful lyrics, but because it was my father's favorite song. But sorrow, hurt, and grief are the most natural reactions to trials and testing. From the book of James 1:2-18, we make an exciting discovery. And the worst of times, we can still say, with the help of the Spirit at work in our lives, developing joy in all kinds of circumstances, that it is well with my soul. Let's read James 1:2-18. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow, for when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. But when you ask him, be sure that your faith in God is alone. Your faith is in God alone. Do not waver for a person with divided loyalty. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. Such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do. Believers who are poor have something to boast about, for God has honored them, and those who are rich should boast that God has humbled them. They will fade away like a little flower in the field. The hot sun rises and the grass withers, the flower droops and falls, and its beauty fades away. In the same way, the rich will fade away with all their achievements. God blesses those who patiently endure testing and temptation. Afterward, they will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love Him. And remember, when you're being tempted, do not say, God is tempting me. God is never tempted to do wrong, and He never tempts anyone else. Temptation comes from our own desires, which entice us and drag us away. These desires give birth to sinful actions, and when sin is allowed to grow, it gives birth to death. So don't be misled, my dear brothers and sisters. Whatever is good and perfect is a gift coming down from us, from God, our Father, who created all the lights in heaven. He never changes or casts a shifting shadow. He chose to give birth to us by giving us His true word, and we, out of all creation, became His prized possession. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, so I encourage you to read James 1, 2 through 18 for yourself, and then think upon these questions here. What would you consider trials of many kinds to be, which is mentioned in the insight on the previous page? Why must your faith be tested? What is a working definition of perseverance? What is the relationship between perseverance and maturity? Why is perseverance so important to your Christian lifestyle? Here's something else to consider. What is wisdom? And how does it apply to Christian living? How does our attitude relate to perseverance, trials, and maturity? What is the reward for people who persevere under trials and testings? Isn't it interesting that James includes verses 13 through 15, which deal with temptation, in the middle of this passage on joy? Why do you think he did that? And where is the ultimate source of our joy coming from? If you can, explain the significance of being a kind of first fruits of His creations. And that's in, I would say, in the translation that I read, the first fruits talking about being the firstborn, chose to give us being the firstborn. And how do these promises in this section of the Word apply to you? How have these promises of joy helped you in your current life situation? And write out a plan of application for these truths in your life. So that's the assignment, to think about how the promises of joy have helped you in your current life situation, and to write out a plan of application for these truths in your life. It follows, then does it not, that in order to understand a Christian's joy, we must take another look at the joy-filled lifestyle of Christ. Where did His joy come from? And what were the principles by which He lived? And we will look further into that, my friends, tomorrow as we talk about the joy of Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for being with us. I truly hope that you are enjoying this series on the fruit of the Spirit. Once again, I just want to say thank you to my friend Dana, who has learned to live Dana, for sending these to me a while back. I've been wanting to do them for a long time. So thank you, and God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.